We all make grammar mistakes. I make grammar mistakes. And today I want to talk to you about 5 grammar mistakes that you could be making. That's coming up. Hey everyone, my name is Wes from interactiveenglishvideos.com, which is the #1 channel to practice and improve your English. And today I want to help you improve your grammar because I want to talk to you about 5 common grammar mistakes that learners often make, and even native English speakers are guilty of making these mistakes as well. And I promise, by watching this lesson, you will make fewer and fewer mistakes. And that's actually what I want to talk to you about first, is a word pair that's commonly confused, and that is fewer and less. We use these words to talk about a quantity, an amount, a degree, and in general, we use less with uncountable nouns. So I could say, I have less energy than I did yesterday. Maybe I should eat a banana. Okay. Wow. That took less time than I thought it would. So I just gave you 2 examples as to when you would use less with uncountable nouns. Less energy, less time. One thing I do want you to keep in mind is that people use less when talking about singular nouns. There's a popular expression that goes, there's one less thing to worry about. So even though thing is a countable noun, it's singular, so we're going to use less. There's one less thing to worry about. We use fewer when we talk about plural nouns. So I could say, now that I just ate 1 banana, I have fewer bananas left. Now, when people confuse these words, they're pretty much using less when they should use fewer. And there are some clear mistakes that you can find. Well, such as this one, like an advertisement. Or if you walk into a grocery store, this is something that you might definitely see. 10 items or less. Should be fewer. Then there are mistakes that I think, well, they're more understandable, but they're still not correct. For example, when people use irregular plural nouns. So I could say, in the morning, there are less children on the playground. Children is an irregular plural noun, and I should use fewer. In the morning, there are fewer children on the playground. Or perhaps if we're talking about work, so you might hear somebody say, less and less people are willing to work on the weekend. Again, people, it's an irregular plural noun, and you should say fewer and fewer people are willing to work on the weekend. To be perfectly honest, I am guilty of making some of these mistakes, like with those irregular plural nouns, but I still try to avoid making them, and I would also encourage you to try to avoid them as well and use the grammar correctly. Now, I want to take a moment and tell you about the sponsor of today's lesson, which is Lingoda. And studying with Lingoda, it's a great way to improve your English, and you will make fewer and fewer speaking mistakes. And that's one less thing to worry about. And right now, Lingoda has an amazing opportunity for those of you who would like to improve a lot, improve quickly, and do so at an affordable price. I got 3 words for you. Lingoda Language Sprint. That's right, Lingoda is doing another language sprint, and if you complete it successfully, you can get 100% cash back or 50% cash back if you attend all your classes. I've even studied with Lingoda. I took some classes in Spanish, and it was a great way for me to build my vocabulary, improve my pronunciation, and really gain some much needed speaking confidence. And the great thing about Lingoda is that classes are available 24/7, and these are small group classes, which means you will have a lot of opportunities to speak. So let me give you a little more information about the language sprint, because you have 2 options. You can take the super sprint, in which you will take 30 classes a month for 3 months. And successful completion means you can get 100% cash back. Or you can take the sprint, in which you'll take 15 classes a month for 3 months. And if you complete that successfully, you can get 50% cash back. And the way it works is that you will pay each month, you will take the required number of classes, and then you will be eligible for either that 100% or 50% cash back. The language sprint will begin on September 23rd. So you have until September 8th to sign up and reserve your spot. Once you sign up, you will pay a 49 € deposit, but you can use the voucher code SCHOOL16 to get a 10 € discount on your deposit. So click on the link in the description to find out more information about the language sprint. And don't forget to use that voucher code SCHOOL16 and just start taking some online classes to improve your English, gain some speaking confidence, and make fewer and fewer mistakes. Let's get back to the lesson, and the next grammar mistake that learners often make is with another word pair, which is used to and used to. Now, the first reason why it can be a little confusing is that the pronunciation is very similar. Used to and used to. For the most part, if you are speaking and you happen to make a mistake, people really aren't going to take that much notice. The problem would be with writing. If you are writing and you need to use either used to or used to, people are going to see that, okay, this is the wrong one. This is a mistake. So let's look at what these verbs mean. It's a modal verb, and let's start with used to, because this is definitely the more common one because of the meaning. So if you say that you used to do something, it's talking about something that was done or something that was experienced in the past, and it's not done or experienced right now in the present. For example, I could say, I used to play guitar. That's true. I don't play it anymore. I don't play it now. Or perhaps I could say, I used to look like this. And as you can see, I don't look like that anymore. It's unfortunate. Or finally, I could say, we used to get regular sleep in the past, but not now in the present because we have a baby girl and regular sleep has just gone out the window. And that's a great idiom. If something goes out the window, it means that it just no longer exists. So you may be wondering, when are we going to use the form used to? And we're going to use this when talking about negative statements. And the reason for that is because when you are stating the negative with do not or does not, you're going to use the base verb afterwards, which in this case is used to. So I could say something like, well, I didn't used to have hair like this. I didn't used to have hair like this. I used to have hair like that when I shaved my head, which was, well, it was a long time ago. Or to be perfectly honest, I didn't used to look like this. But you probably already knew that. I didn't used to look like this. I feel like I kind of look the same. One other thing I want you to be aware of is that used to has another meaning, which is to be accustomed to something. So in this case, it's pretty much an idiom. And I could say, wow, this summer it's really hot and I'm not used to it. This is a common expression that you will hear if somebody just wants to say they're not accustomed to something. I'm not used to it. So when we're using this idiom and you're talking about something you're accustomed to, you're going to use used to. And now let's talk about noun clauses, because this is another common mistake that learners will make. So I can give you this sentence, which is correct. I don't know where she is. What I might hear learners say is, which is incorrect, is I don't know where is she. I understand why learners make this mistake, but first we should know what a clause is. A clause is a group of words that has a subject and a verb. A noun clause is a group of words that will take the place of a noun. So this group of words together just acts like a noun. And one way to identify a noun clause is to look for these words right here. These words often start a noun clause. They're not the only ones, but these are some common words that you will find at the beginning of a noun clause. So let's go back to that sentence, and I started it with I don't know. And we're going to follow that with a noun. I don't know the answer. Or I could say, I don't know this person. Actually, I do. I do know this person. That's me a long time ago at a Halloween party. But I can follow I don't know with a noun, and I could also follow it with a noun clause. I don't know where she is. Where she is just acts like a noun. And when we write our noun clause, we have a subject and a verb, and the subject is going to come first. Subject, verb, she is. The reason why that learners confuse this is because they see where. And when people, they see where, they think question. And if we were going to ask a question, you'd say, well, where is she? Where is she? And in that case, the subject and the verb are reversed. So it's understandable that learners make this mistake, but realize that when we're talking about a noun clause, it's going to have a subject and a verb. The subject is going to come first. And there are common phrases that are often followed by a noun clause, like the one that I just gave you. I don't know plus a noun clause. Or even I know plus a noun clause. I know why you are here. You're here to improve your English. Or another phrase would be I wonder plus a noun clause. I wonder if you will write me a comment. I do. I really wonder because I love hearing from you. Or I could say ask someone plus a noun clause, like ask him what time it is. Now, there are, again, two main reasons why I think this can be really troublesome. The first reason is because, well, mistakes are often made when the verb is to be. And the second reason is when noun clauses are used in questions. We can use noun clauses when we ask questions. So let's go back to that last sentence. Ask him what time it is. Now, a common question that I just think is burned into people's mind is, what time is it? What time is it? What time is it? What time is it? It's a question that I ask a lot. But if I want to ask the same question, perhaps even be polite, I'm going to use a noun clause and I got to switch it around. Could you tell me what time it is? Could you tell me what time it is? It's a little more polite, but it's the same exact question, except I'm going to use a noun clause and the subject will come before the verb. It's the same if I ask, do you know? Plus a noun clause. Do you know what time it is? And this is a more specific example as to when learners may struggle with noun clauses. So do you know what time it is? It's time for me to end this lesson, and I hope that you learned something new, and if you did, please hit that like button, and I hope that you will make fewer and fewer mistakes because you now know the difference between some of this confusing grammar and understand how to correct these mistakes. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.